Good evening, everybody. I welcome you all to the Akash Live CUCT webinar series. I am your host, Tanu Sardana, for the evening. First of all, I would like to start this webinar by saying a big thank you to each one of you who join us every Saturday. And we are very excited. And we also would like to thank you for such a phenomenal response to our previous webinars so far. And in fact, if you're new to our webinar, then you can always go back to our previous webinars. You can get your queries resolved around CUCET 2022, that is Central University's Common Entrance Test. And the good thing is you can always stay updated with just one click. Subscribe to our channel and get all notifications by pressing on the bell icon so that you stay updated. I'll try कि मैं हमारा पूरा webinar English में रखूं. For all those Hindi medium and English speaking students, it's going to be very easy. Now, as I always mention before starting the webinar, that every webinar is treated very seriously, and every expert works on the webinar. So today also we have an expert with us. We are joined here today by Mr. Vaibhav Dikshit, who is Assistant Director in the National Academic Team at AESL. Vaibhav sir has been a distinguished physics faculty with more than 8 years of experience in teaching physics and preparing and mentoring students for various competitive examinations. In fact, Vaibhav sir is also an alumnus of IIT Guwahati and a former visiting researcher at the University of Manchester, UK, and University of South Carolina, USA. We are so privileged that he is here with us today. Sir, a very warm welcome. How are you doing this evening?
Thank you, Tanu ma'am. I'm doing very well. And thank you once again for having me on this very interesting webinar on this extremely important topic, that is the CUCET. And like all the previous webinars, I look forward on having the interaction with you on this topic. And ये जो opportunity हमारे पास है to share the information about this very important examination with the students and the viewers, this is interesting in itself a lot, and I look forward to it. Thank you.
Absolutely, sir. Even I'm looking forward to this webinar. So, without further ado, let's just give you a quick highlight what exactly we'll be discussing in this webinar. So my first and foremost thing will be that we are going to talk about the participating universities for CUCET 2022. Secondly, we'll be discussing about the available courses and seats for this particular exam. And thirdly, we'll be discussing about CUCET admission and counseling process. And not to miss, we'll be taking your questions also. तो जो भी सवाल आपके मन में आ रहा है regarding CUCET 2022, feel free to put your questions in the description box, and I will make sure that मैं वो सारे सवालों के जवाब वैभव सर तक पहुंचाऊं, so that वो आपको एक right, correct और बहुत ही updated answer यहाँ पर दे पाएं. So, sir, like always, we spoke to a lot of students और हमें उनसे बहुत सारी queries, बहुत सारे questions already आए हैं, because CUCET 2022 suddenly talk of the town बन चुका है. Everybody is talking about it. So I'll take those questions and gradually we'll be moving to the live questions जो students हमारे साथ share करते रहेंगे. So, I think the first question to you would be, एक थोड़ा सा rewind करते हैं. Exactly, अगर बहुत सारे students हमें first time देख रहे हैं, ये webinar first time attend कर रहे हैं, and for them CUCET is a very new thing, it's a new concept. So let's talk about CUCET and why should a student appear for this exam?
So ma'am, in spite of all the webinars that we have undertaken till now, still ये question अभी भी बहुत relevant है, because as we are discussing with a lot of students, what we are seeing is कि students को अभी भी थोड़ा सा confusion है कि CUCET है क्या और ये इतना important क्यों बन जाता है. So of course, let us begin this webinar by elaborating on this very fact as itself. Now, CUCET, for all the viewers, in the full form is called the Central University's Common Entrance Test. अब जैसा कि इसका नाम है, it is an entrance test. Now, for what? It is an entrance test for Central Universities.
Right.
Central Universities एक prominent institutions of national importance होते हैं हमारी country में, जो कि directly हमारी central government से controlled होते हैं, monitored होते हैं. ये ऐसी कुछ universities हैं इंडिया में जिनके बारे में students हमेशा सुनते आए हैं. For example, from this year onwards, एक बहुत famous central university CUCET में add हो गई है, that is the University of Delhi or the Delhi University in Delhi itself, which in itself has a lot of courses in undergraduate science and non-science streams. और हर साल लाखों स्टूडेंट्स ये एस्पायर करते हैं कि वो दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी में अपना मनचाहा कोर्स कर पाए, मनचाहे कोर्स में एडमिशन ले पाए. नाउ 2016 से ये CUCET एग्जामिनेशन होता आ रहा है. डिफरेंट यूनिवर्सिटीज इस CUCET एग्जामिनेशन के थ्रू ही एडमिशन लेती हैं. सो देयर इज दिस इंपॉर्टेंट इंफॉर्मेशन कि CUCET इज एन इंपॉर्टेंट क्राइटेरिया फॉर मेनी यूनिवर्सिटीज टू टेक एडमिशन. लेकिन 2022 से जो होने वाला है वो अपने आप में बहुत ज्यादा इंटरेस्टिंग बात है. एंड दैट इंटरेस्टिंग थिंग इज दैट कि दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी, दैट इज द दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी, अपने आप में CUCET के मार्क्स के बेसिस पे ही अपने डिफरेंट कोर्सेज में एडमिशन लेने वाली है. फॉर एग्जांपल, अगर आपको BSc करना है, BA करना है, या कोई और कोर्स अंडर ग्रेजुएट कोर्स दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी में करना है, या और भी यूनिवर्सिटीज जो कि बहुत सारी प्रोमिनेंट यूनिवर्सिटीज है, तो आपको CUCET देना कंपल्सरीली बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी है. और ना केवल दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी, अभी 14 यूनिवर्सिटीज हालांकि हैं, और भी यूनिवर्सिटीज धीरे धीरे ऐड होने वाली है. विश्व भारती यूनिवर्सिटी, बनारस हिंदू यूनिवर्सिटी, and as per the reports, a huge chunk of the universities of the India will be getting in the ambit of the CUCET itself. So yes, therefore, and that is why the CUCET has become the talk of the town, as you said.
Absolutely. So many universities participating. इसका मतलब ये भी हो गया कि एग्जाम काफी important होने वाला है और काफी मायने होने वाले हैं for every student who's preparing for it. तो सर exactly कौन से programs और courses offer किए जाएंगे by these universities that you mentioned?
So ma'am, in sub universities में there is a plethora of courses. Undergraduate courses भी होते हैं, post graduate courses भी होते हैं. But considering the audience that we have और जो students जिनको हम cater कर रहे हैं, we are only concentrating on the undergraduate courses. So undergraduate courses are of two types. One is the science undergraduate course and another is the non-science undergraduate course. अब अगर मैं इस बात पे और elaborate करूं, before that I must inform the students कि अगर आपको इंजीनियरिंग एग्जाम देना है या फिर MBBS में आपको एडमिशन चाहिए, देन जैसे पहले होता आ रहा था JEE एंड नीट, वो ही पैटर्न में आपको एग्जाम्स देने हैं. CUCET उन स्टूडेंट्स के लिए है जो अंडर ग्रेजुएट साइंस और नॉन साइंस कोर्सेज उन सेंट्रल यूनिवर्सिटीज में चाहते हैं जो सेंट्रल यूनिवर्सिटी CUCET का पार्ट है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, for instance, let's say you want to take admission into BSc Zoology in a college of Delhi University, then you will have to appear for the CUCET. If you wish to undertake BA English from Delhi University or one of its colleges, then you have to give CUCET. And there's a plethora of such courses. In fact, there are more than 50,000 non-science UG courses and more than 16,000 science UG courses within a framework of just 14 central universities in the CUCET as of now, and this amount and this number of universities is expected to increase exponentially this year itself.
Okay, so sir, if I particularly talk about how many seats are offered under CUCET, science UG courses.
This is also an important fact that the students must know, because the number of seats is actually proportional to the opportunities and the chances of getting a seat in a central university. So I had just only mentioned, but the fact is that it is again a very important data. The more than 50,000 seats are there in non-science UG courses, and more than 16,000, that is 16,000 seats are there in non-science UG courses. But that ये जो नंबर है ये अभी का है जिस समय हम वेबिनार को कंडक्ट कर रहे हैं. It is expected to increase exponentially and drastically for the CUCET 2022 itself.
Okay. So as we wait for the final results, we'll see and we'll definitely keep them updated about it. Sir, another important thing is, I think every student will be curious to find out ki selection or counseling process kya rahega, especially for science UG courses.
Ma'am, when we talk about the science UG courses, then the students must be aware कि किन-किन courses की हम बात कर रहे हैं. These are broadly BSc courses in various universities. In fact, when I'm talking about science courses, there are certain universities the certain central universities which also offer a bachelor of technology, that is engineering courses, but there's a very limited few of numbers. To give you an idea, the Central University of Haryana and Central University of Karnataka even offer you bachelor of technology. So certain bachelor of technology seats you can grab by giving this CUCT itself. Now, coming on to the major factor that how and what is the process जिससे हमें admission मिलता है. So I'll divide the whole journey of the CUCT into various steps. The first step for the student is to ensure that he registers for the CUCT जब उसका notification आ जाए. Notification CUCT का awaited है. We are expecting the notification very soon.
Okay.
आप CUCT के लिए register कीजिए, then appear for the CUCT and give your best. And when you give your best, you get the best marks. जब आपके best marks आएंगे, you keep those marks, and then after the CUCT paper and the result of the CUCT, different central universities जो CUCT के ambit में आती हैं, जो desire करती हैं students को admission लेने के लिए through the CUCT only, उनका counseling open होता है. Now this is the thing to be noted. CUCT के बाद काउंसलिंग इन यूनिवर्सिटी लेवल्स पे होगा, ना कि एक सेंट्रल कॉमन काउंसलिंग जैसे कि जेईई और नीट में होता है.
Right.
Now, for example, I'll give an instance. A student gives CUCT and gets some marks, and he wishes to take admission into a particular BSc course in the Central University of Haryana. Now, what he needs to do is he will then approach the Central University of Haryana, register himself at the website of the Central University of Haryana, pay the prescribed fees, fill up the form, and get yourself registered by mentioning the CUCT marks as well. Now, यहाँ पे different courses के लिए universities अपने specific eligibility criteria set करती है. For example, एक particular course, एक particular university में एक स्टूडेंट को शायद मिले, दूसरे को ना मिले, इन स्पाइट ऑफ द फैक्ट कि दोनों के CUCT मार्क्स सेम हो. रीजन ये होगा कि दोनों के लिए एलिजिबिलिटी क्राइटेरिया अलग है. बीएससी जूलॉजी अगर आपको चाहिए, सो मोर और लेस मैनी यहाँ पे बायोलॉजी क्लास 12th में हो, लेकिन अगर आपके पास क्लास 12th में बायोलॉजी नहीं है, तो इन स्पाइट ऑफ गेटिंग वेरी गुड मार्क्स इन दिस CUCT, you cannot take admission into that university. So this is one thing that has to be kept in mind. Now, after you register for the university अपनी enrollment list या फिर admission list release करेगी, and then you'll have to check if you are admitted in the university or not.
Okay, so जितना मैं समझ पा रही हूँ, the process is going to be exactly like this कि पहले आपने CUCT के लिए appear किया, उसके बाद when you're choosing the university, then it totally depends on the colleges also कि उनकी eligibility क्या रहेगी. क्योंकि मेरा exactly अगला सवाल यही होने वाला था कि selection और counseling process क्या रहेगा specifically for science UG courses.
So ma'am, selection is based on the CUCT marks और counseling जो होगी वो individual university level पे होगी based on the eligibility criteria of the course in which the student wishes to take admission into in that particular university. लेकिन मैम जब हम बात कर ही रहे हैं यूनिवर्सिटी की, there are few pointers that I should mention. One thing is that CUCT के एग्जाम देने के बाद आपके पास जो मार्क्स आएंगे, उसके बाद ये जरूरी नहीं कि आप एक ही यूनिवर्सिटी के लिए रजिस्टर करें. It is not necessary that you register only for one university. You can register for as many central universities as possible and as many central universities as you wish to take admission into.
Okay, so I would still suggest to every student, please be very sure while applying for the university, because process कुछ ऐसा रहेगा कि even after appearing for CUCT examination, you still have to go by the university eligibility criteria. So be very sure of that. In fact, sir, will there be any cutoff list or merit list of students who clear CUCT for admissions to respective universities and colleges?
So ma'am, unlike JEE and NEET जहाँ पे एक कॉमन मेरिट लिस्ट निकलती है डिफरेंट कैटेगरीज के लिए और डिफरेंट रिजर्वेशन क्राइटेरियाज के लिए, ऐसा कुछ भी CUCT के लिए नहीं होगा और अब तक तो नहीं होता आया है. लेकिन अगर आगे होता भी है, one thing that has to be noted in mind is what is actually this common merit list of, for any entrance examination. जब एक certain entrance examination में, let's say 10,000 students appear for that examination, so based on the marks achieved by those students, हर एक स्टूडेंट का अलग अलग रैंक अपना एंट्रेंस एग्जामिनेशन या उसकी जो रेगुलेटिंग अथॉरिटी है वो रिलीज करती है. नाउ it can happen that a student with a better rank may not get admission into a particular course, but a student with lower rank may get admission into the particular course. अब बात आती है कि ऐसा हुआ ही क्यों? ऐसा इसलिए होगा because the eligibility criteria, as I said, varies across the universities and across the different courses in that particular university as well. So ऊपर से तो बहुत simple लगेगा, but it actually is a little complicated. And I sincerely and very seriously advise the students कि ये जो nitty gritties हैं about the counseling of that examination बहुत जरूरी है. And that is why we are actually holding this webinar, because we do not want कि बाद में जब students एक university को approach करें for the admission, उनको इसका regret हो that कि मुझे CUCET देना था but I didn't give it, and that is why I am missing a chance of getting admission into a particular university. So you complete in and out and end to end intricacies of the CUCET जो है, of the counseling and the selection process. This also needs to be understood by the student.
Wow, so there's a catch here which we were not aware of. So in fact, every student really needs to have correct information and guidance, and for that we have Aakash BYJU'S. In fact, we're starting our crash courses on 11th of March. If you want to prepare seriously for our CUCET examinations without feeling lost or distracted, then this is the platform for you. Sir, after you mentioned about the respective universities and the cutoff list, I would also want to know, can a student submit 2 application forms for 2 courses or more at the same time?
So ma'am, yes, a student can in fact submit the application for different universities at a given instant of time and different courses in a given university at a given instant of time. जो भी हमारे व्यूअर्स हैं, अगर वो अपने सीनियर स्टूडेंट से पूछेंगे तो अब तक दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी में जो होता आया है, दैट इज वर्थ नोटिंग. एक स्टूडेंट कभी भी एक सिंगल कॉलेज के एक सिंगल कोर्स के लिए अप्लाई नहीं करता. ही और शी अप्लाइज फॉर डिफरेंट कोर्सेज अक्रॉस डिफरेंट कॉलेजेस, और जो भी कॉलेज और जो भी कोर्सेज की कट ऑफ के अकॉर्डिंगली उसे एडमिशन मिलता है, देन ही और शी डिसाइड्स कि मुझे ये ज्यादा प्रेफर्ड course है और ज़्यादा preferred college है, and then he or she takes admission into that. So the same philosophy is in the CUCET as well. You can apply for multiple universities and multiple courses within the university and across the university.
All right. I think there's a very relevant question here from a student. She says, if I'm already applying for CUCET, will I also have to submit separate college admission forms?
Yes, ma'am. The student will require to submit different application forms if he wishes to take admission into different courses or different universities. Because one thing to note here is that the counseling happens for different universities and at their own level. That is, अगर दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी आपकी काउंसलिंग करा रही है, then that counseling is completely separate from the Central University of Haryana. Therefore, Central University of Haryana का जो application form होगा, that has to be separately filled up, and the Delhi University's application form has to be again separately filled up.
Okay. So I think I'm totally clear on that. I hope the students are also very much clear on this part. So students basically want to find out what exactly is the eligibility criteria for CUCET 2022.
As I mentioned before, the eligibility criteria is decided by the universities themselves based on the courses in which the student is wishing to take admission into. Now, we can actually lay down a broad criteria. Now, since because the CUCET is for those universities wherein undergraduate courses are being offered, therefore the student should be 12th passed or should have appeared for 12th and the results of the 12th are awaited. In simple words, we can say that the student, when he takes admission into the university, at some point of time should have his passing certificate of the 12th boards, and therefore he could be the 12th appearing student or the 12th pass student. So that is the broad criteria of the eligibility. However,
The larger criteria actually depends upon the individual course in the individual university.
Okay. So I think I am very much clear that यहाँ पे so many people are getting clarity. So questions भी आना यहाँ पे definitely start हो गए हैं. Rajendra Kanwar wants to know, where is the list of participating universities?
So ma'am, the list of participating universities, there are various sources, but however, it is very important that the students must not be misled by the myriad of the information that is available on the different websites online. One very authentic source is the website of the NTA itself, that is the cucet.nta.in. However, due to some or the other reasons, it is not frequently updated. For example, Delhi University has officially notified that it will take admission through the CUCET. However, the CUCET official website has not actually added the Delhi University as of now. One reason could be that the 2022 CUCET notifications are awaited and the updates are expected after that. Now, the another thing that we should note here is that at Akash BYJU'S, we ourselves have done some research on the currently universities who are under the ambit of the CUCET. The students can actually go to our own website, that is the akash.ac.in, that is AAKASH, and download the whole brochure of the CUCET and the offerings for the CUCET that we have for the students from our side. I can give the glimpse of the universities, or I can list down the universities that are part of the CUCET as of now. They are University of Delhi, Jawaharlal Nehru University of Delhi, Central University of Andhra Pradesh, Central University of Gujarat, similarly for Haryana, Jammu, Jharkhand, Karnataka, Kerala, Rajasthan, South Bihar, and Tamil Nadu. And not just that, a large number of universities are expected to get added up in this list. So this list, which is still a large list, is expected to exponentially increase.
Okay. Sir, now that we've spoken about universities, we've spoken about the number of seats and courses available, I would want to know, in fact, students want to know, is CUCET based on CBSE syllabus? If yes, how can students from other boards prepare for it?
So ma'am, I guess this question is raised by a student who is not from CBSE. And that is a very, very important question. CUCET is a national level examination, एक राष्ट्रीय स्तर का एक हमारा एग्जामिनेशन, एक परीक्षा है. And अगर आप इस बात को ही समझेंगे, you will understand that CBSE is not the only boards in India. There are multiple boards, UP boards, Bihar boards, there are various boards in South, there are boards in Maharashtra, wherein the content जो कि पढ़ाया जाता है in various subjects and the order of that content varies drastically. And the CUCET in itself takes care of that. So CUCET is not essentially and completely based on the CBSE, but there are a lot of chapters which are common between the CBSE boards and the CUCET. Largely, the syllabus is based on the 11th and the 12th syllabus that the students study in the classes in their schools. One thing to note here is that कि different boards में भी कोई बहुत ज़्यादा drastic difference नहीं है in the syllabus. फिजिक्स की बात करें तो रोटेशनल मैकेनिक्स अगर सीबीएसई में पढ़ाई जाती है तो महाराष्ट्र बोर्ड, साउथ के बोर्ड जो हमारे कई सारे हैं, यूपी बोर्ड जो है, बिहार बोर्ड है, सब में पढ़ाया जाता है. सो देयर इज a hint of commonality of the syllabus among various boards, and which is visible in the CUCET itself. Of course, I cannot say that it is completely based on the CBSE board itself.
Okay. So we have a lot of questions. Anshika Agarwal, Rajendra Kumar, Riya Goyal. Definitely हम आपके सारे questions के answers यहाँ पे one by one देने वाले हैं. So Riya Goyal wants to know, if we are preparing for NEET, is it good to give CUCET?
The answer to that question actually depends on the student, ma'am. But I will try to give this answer very objectively. मैं compare करने की कोशिश करता हूँ NEET और CUCET को. Now, one thing that is similar in the NEET and the CUCET is that कि NEET में आपके single करेक्ट ऑब्जेक्टिव टाइप क्वेश्चंस होते हैं और CUCT में भी सिंगल करेक्ट ऑब्जेक्टिव टाइप क्वेश्चंस होते हैं. Marking scheme for NEET is +4 -1 and for CUCT it is also +4 -1. The regulating authority जो कि दोनों एग्जाम्स कराती है वो सेम है, दैट इज द NTA नेशनल टेस्टिंग एजेंसी. नाउ पर्पस ऑफ दीज टू एग्जामिनेशन इज कंप्लीटली डिफरेंट. नीट उस स्टूडेंट को देना चाहिए जिसको MBBS यानी मेडिकल कोर्सेज जो होते हैं उसमें एडमिशन लेना है इन वेरियस मेडिकल कॉलेजेस अक्रॉस इंडिया. और CUCT उन पर्टिकुलर कोर्सेज की तरफ स्टूडेंट को लेके जाता है जो कि अंडर ग्रेजुएट साइंस एंड नॉन साइंस कोर्सेज है, फॉर एग्जांपल BSc एंड BA. So the end objective will actually decide the exam that the student should aim or give. However, I must say that the student who is preparing for the NEET in some or the other way is not completely aloof. वो completely अलग नहीं है CUCT की प्रिपरेशन से भी, क्योंकि काफी चीजें कॉमन है. सिंगल करेक्ट ऑब्जेक्टिव टाइप क्वेश्चंस जब स्टूडेंट को हैंडल करना आ जाएगा तो वो CUCT के भी क्वेश्चंस को हैंडल कर सकता है और नीट के भी क्वेश्चंस को हैंडल कर सकता है जहां तक पैटर्न की बात आती है.
Okay, so I think सर बहुत सारे लोगों के स्टूडेंट्स के मन में ये क्वेश्चन डेफिनेटली आया, तो आई होप इट हेल्प्ड. इनफैक्ट राजेंद्र कुमार सेज कि वो क्लास 10th में है अभी इस मोमेंट एंड गोइंग टू 11th. So should I start CUCT preparation with my NEET as well?
So ma'am, Rajendra, that is the name. So I would recommend him कि क्योंकि आप अभी 10th से 11th में आ रहे हैं और you are, I think आपके क्वेश्चन से ये लग रहा है that you are preparing for the NEET and you wish to know कि CUCT का प्रिपरेशन NEET के साथ करते रहें तो अच्छा होगा, क्या ये advisable है या नहीं. Now the thing is, what I'll advise the student is कि आप NEET की प्रिपरेशन में अच्छी तरह कंसंट्रेट करें शुरुआत में. रीजन बीइंग कि आपकी नीट की प्रिपरेशन भी अपने आप में कोई आसान प्रिपरेशन नहीं है. जैसे कहते हैं कि अगर आप दो नाव में तैरने की कोशिश करेंगे तो एंड रिजल्ट डूबना ही होता है.
Absolutely.
However, आप नीट की प्रिपरेशन में अपने सब्जेक्ट्स को इतना स्ट्रॉन्ग बहुत अच्छे से करिए कि अगर आपको उन्हीं सब्जेक्ट्स पे कोई और डिफरेंट एग्जामिनेशन देने को बोला जाए या आपको देना हो तो आपको कोई ज्यादा मुश्किल ना आए. You don't face a lot of difficulty while giving a different paper based on the same subject. So we should aim to get that much grasp on those subjects. That should be our initial aim. However, let's say in your second year of preparation, you can actually decide whether I want to prepare for CUCT as well or I want to stick to NEET. And that will be a completely, that will be a call that you will have to take. But as I said in the as the answer of the previous question, completely different भी नहीं है इन दोनों के प्रिपरेशन. हाँ, completely एक भी नहीं है. तो इसीलिए इसका एक सिंगल आंसर भी अगर मैं आपको देना चाहूं तो वो पॉसिबल नहीं होगा. What I'll advise to you is explore your primary objective as of now, that is NEET, and second year में decide further what you want to do.
Wow, that's a great piece of advice. I hope Rajinder this helped. In fact, sir, यहाँ पे Ignis Soul they want to know कि notification of CUCT कब release होने वाली है और registrations कब से start हो रहे हैं for this exam.
So I think and I hope this question is because the student is very much interested and excited for the CUCT, but and I must admit that so we are. We are also waiting for the notifications of the CUCT. अभी तक notifications नहीं आए हैं. And as and when they come, we will update them on our own website as well. That is the akash.ac.in. The student can frequently visit the cucet.nta.in. That is the authentic website of the NTA. I advise them to not wander around on various universities and end up getting confused. As of now, since the notifications अभी तक नहीं आए हैं, लेकिन बहुत जल्दी आ सकते हैं. Exact timeline बताना मुश्किल होगा. What I'll advise to the students is keep vigilant. आंखें खुली रखें. हमेशा वेबसाइट्स को विजिट करते रहें. हमारी वेबसाइट्स को विजिट करते रहें. CUCT की वेबसाइट को विजिट करते रहें. और जैसे ही आपको नोटिफिकेशन के बारे में पता चले, go and get yourself registered for the exam.
Wow, that's nice. Sir, in fact, I was thinking कि मैं बहुत सारी videos आए दिन social media पे देखती हूँ regarding CUCET 2022. वो videos updated नहीं है because वो एक certain time पे बनाकर upload कर दी गई हैं. But you know the thing is कि Aakash BYJU'S के live webinars के through we are constantly getting updated with the information. So we're bringing the latest information to each and every student, and this is what I really like about this webinar.
Ma'am, I would add on to that. In fact, we all must admit and to this fact कि हर एक वेबिनार जो हम कर रहे हैं, we keep our eyes and ears open and we know कि शायद हमारे previous webinar की information अगले webinar में और ज्यादा update हो चुकी होगी. And therefore, this frequent webinars are necessary, and the frequently information that we are providing to the students who are registered with us for the CUCET courses and on our website, and that is also necessary. And we must acknowledge that that is also some of the way the part of the whole CUCET preparation of the students as well.
Yes, absolutely, sir. In fact, now I would want to bring back the attention to subject. So, जैसे मैंने आपसे पूछा था कि जो लोग CBSE बोर्ड से नहीं हैं, उनकी preparation strategy कैसे रहेगी? But there's another important concern here. Are NCRT textbooks enough to ace CUCET exam?
So, again, this question arises because NCRT is one of those textbooks or one of those series of textbooks जो कि CBSE में follow होती है.
Right.
And in the CBSE, a large chunk of students actually those students जो CBSE से belong करते हैं. Now, as I said before कि NCRT का complete content CUCET के लिए आपके लिए sufficient नहीं होगा. आपको स्ट्रेटेजाइज अच्छा करना पड़ेगा, आपको एनालाइज करना पड़ेगा कि सिलेबस क्या है CUCET का और उसके लिए कौन कौन से मिसिंग पॉइंट्स हैं जिनको मुझे एक्स्ट्रा एफर्ट लगा के अलग से कवर अप कर लेना है. ऑफ कोर्स कुछ ऐसे टॉपिक्स भी हैं NCRT के जो CUCET में नहीं है. फॉर एग्जांपल, अल्टरनेटिंग करंट इज नॉट द पार्ट ऑफ द CUCET सिलेबस, एंड दैट इज व्हाट वी रियलाइज्ड आफ्टर एनालाइजिंग द प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चंस ऑफ द CUCET. सो I would say that there is no 100% overlap between the NCRT and the CUCET, and therefore NCRT in itself, I cannot say is the only complete recommended book for the CUCET. In fact, I must share with the students here that at Akash BYJU'S here as well, we have created the study packages for the CUCET. We have our own experts of various subjects, using their decades of experience of the teaching, have created meticulously designed study packages सारे subjects का, physics, chemistry, biology, mathematics, mental ability, English and GK. और ये सारे के सारे study packages we are providing to the students who are registering for the CUCET crash course with us.
Okay. Sir, in fact, there's a question from Abhishek here. वो पूछ रहे हैं कि सिर्फ MCQ questions ही आएंगे CUCET examinations में?
Yes, Abhishek, only MCQs. These will be single correct objective type questions. 4 options आपके पास होंगे, उसमें से एक ही option would be correct. But be vigilant, be cautious, because though for every correct answer you'll be getting +4 marks, for every incorrect answer you'll be given -1 mark. So there is a negative marking as well. So that is something that you should keep in mind.
So Abhishek, I hope आपका आंसर आपको यहाँ पे मिल गया. In fact, Anish wants to know कि मैम कितनी बार अटेम्प्ट किया जा सकता है ये एग्जामिनेशन?
So ma'am, till now, till the previous CUCET, there has been no restrictions on the number of attempts of the CUCET. आप मनचाही बार CUCET दे सकते हैं. Though हम आशा करते हैं, we wish that you clear the CUCET in the first attempt itself. Your preparation should be as strong so as to make you confident enough to clear the CUCET in the first attempt. However, everybody deserves a second chance, and for that matter, the number of restrictions on the CUCET are none. आप कितनी बार भी CUCET का पेपर अटेम्प्ट कर सकते हैं, हर साल एक बार ये होता ही है.
So that's a great news for each and every student. And moving on to another question, sir, और I think ये बहुत ही similar question ही है कि if you are unable to clear CUCET examination, so will she be able to apply for the preferred course in the college of her choice?
Ma'am, fortunately or unfortunately, no.
Okay.
अगर वो यूनिवर्सिटी और उसमें वो आता हुआ कॉलेज is part of the CUCET framework. यानी वो universities जो हैं, they have decided that they'll be taking admissions in their courses through the CUCET, and you fail to give CUCET, or you fail to achieve the expected marks in the CUCET, then no, you won't be allowed to take admission in those particular courses. However, you will be free to take admission in those courses in those universities who are not under the CUCET. However, it is expected that all of the central universities will become part of the CUCET, and central universities being universities of such great repute, I advise the students to actually prepare for the CUCET in a very serious manner, attempt the paper and achieve very good marks so as to not miss such institutes of eminent importance in India.
So, sir, इस पूरे process में can droppers also appear for CUCET?
Yes, ma'am. The droppers, that is the 12th pass students, can appear for the CUCET, and if they wish to take admission into various courses in the central universities, they must appear for the CUCET. तो ये एक option नहीं है, एक necessity है, विकल्प नहीं है, जरूरत है उनकी ये कि वो attempt करें, और उसी attempt पे जो उनके marks आते हैं, based on those marks, they'll be allowed to take admission in those courses. So yes, they can.
Okay. बहुत सारे questions. You're loving your excitement here, and yes, we'll make sure that each and every question is answered here in this particular webinar. Meenu wants to know estimated month of this examination and what is the minimum age required for CUCET?
So, ma'am, estimated month is the something that the question that I'm a little unclear from the student side. However, मुझे लग रहा है कि student ये पूछना चाह रहे हैं कि किस महीने में ये होता है.
Right.
So, after the usual CBSE boards, within a time span of 2.5 months, ये हो जाता है. जैसे इस बार CBSE के second term examinations are from 26th of April. Even if you assume that by 20th of May, the board examination will be over. So by the end of July, we expect that the CUCET will be happening or will be conducted by the NTA. Now, as of now, the minimum age criteria is something that the student should not be concerned about. What they should be concerned about is the point that they should be 12th passed, or they should be 12th appearing. That is, they should have appeared for the 12th boards and their results are awaited. So that is one eligibility criteria that is very important.
Okay, so I think जब हमने बात कर ही ली है about the eligibility and also कि time कब है इस exam का, tentative exam dates भी यहाँ पे clear हो गई हैं. So exactly students को किस तरीके से strategize करना चाहिए, कैसे prepare कर सकते हैं? Like you said कि 26th April board exams के लिए भी again बहुत ही crucial है. I'm sure students वहाँ पे busy हो जाने वाले हैं.
I'm definitely. अभी CUCET ज़्यादा दूर नहीं है. It is not very far away. So what we can see is that the students have a time duration of around 3 or a little more than 3 months. Let's stick to 3 months. Now, ये 3 महीने भी अपने आप में पूरे नहीं, because around a gap or around a duration of 1 month will be given to the board examinations, at least for those students who are part of the CBSE curriculum. So more or less, at least for the CBSE students, 2.5 months is the time that they have effectively at their hands to prepare for the CUCET. And इतने कम समय में इस नेशनल लेवल के एग्जामिनेशन को सक्सेसफुली और इफेक्टिवली क्रैक करने के लिए जो जरूरत है, वो जरूरत है आपकी एक इफेक्टिव स्ट्रेटेजी की. I have always believed in the fact that in the long run, this smart work will definitely overpower hard work. And this smart work starts by strategizing smartly. Now, when it comes to strategy, what I have seen and what we recommend to the students is, because as we have talked in this webinar as well, ऐसे काफी सारे chapters हैं जो कि CUCET और आपके board examinations पे common है. So before the board examination, I advise to the students कि वो उन particular chapters और topics पे concentrate करें जो board examination में आने वाले हैं. ये ऐसा होगा जैसे एक तीर से दो निशाने. कैसे? Because the students, when they'll be preparing for these chapters, they'll be not only preparing for the board examination, but also for the CUCET side by side. And in this time duration, they should attempt as many mock tests on the board pattern or the board syllabus. Now, after the board examination, the students should begin their preparation again and now concentrate on those chapters जो कि boards के साथ common नहीं थे, because at the end करने तो सारे ही chapters CUCT के में हैं. तो जो common नहीं थे उसको अब हम target करेंगे, and we should target those chapters जो common है boards के साथ, जो boards से पहले हम पढ़ रहे हैं, कि हम उनको इतने अच्छे तरीके से कर लें कि boards के बाद उसकी चिंता ना हो. So पूरे कंसंट्रेशन के साथ इस तरीके से आप स्ट्रेटेजी बनाइए बिफोर द बोर्ड्स एंड द आफ्टर बोर्ड्स. डेली टाइम टेबल आपका प्रॉपरली एक अच्छी अलॉटमेंट ऑफ टाइम टू ईच सब्जेक्ट के साथ होना चाहिए. उसको डिलीजेंटली बहुत स्ट्रांगली फॉलो करें. एंड इफ यू डू ऑल दीज थिंग्स, आई डोंट थिंक दैट देयर विल बी एनीथिंग that will fail you. And in fact, to convey to the students, we at Akash BYJU'S have also created a crash course for the CUCT, and the crash course is based on the same strategy. This crash course is starting in just a 1 week time. That is on the 11th of March, wherein the students will be taught only those particular subjects and the chapters and the topics which are common with the board syllabus. After the boards, we'll recollect again, we'll rejoin, and then we'll concentrate on those chapters and topics which were not common with the boards that we couldn't do before the boards. And in this all journey, we'll be providing them with the study packages as well as mock tests based on the actual CUCET pattern. So that is something I highly recommend to the students. 1 week mein the classes are starting. So join as soon as possible. Students have already joined and they are eagerly waiting and excited. I'm getting a lot of messages from various students, and we at Akash BYJU'S, a lot of us in the team are getting the messages from the students that they are very excited to join this journey of the CUCET.
Wow. In fact, I'm also very excited, sir, about this examination. In fact, you mentioned आपने बहुत बार mock tests का नाम लिया है. You've mentioned कि जब भी एक student prepare कर रहा है तो strategize करने के साथ साथ right content पढ़ना भी बहुत जरूरी है, जिसमें you mentioned mock test. How exactly as a student, if I'm going to ask this question, how can I get hold of these mock tests? कहाँ मिलेंगे ये?
तो मैम mock test बहुत जरूरी है. Students से मैं एक चीज share करूंगा. This thing was shared to me by one of toppers of a certain examination. What he told me that I used to give my each mock test like my actual examination in such a manner that my actual examination seemed just like another mock test. तो हर एक mock test में जो हमें हमारी capabilities of time management, the grasp on the subject improve होती है, that actually helps a lot in the actual examination. Now what we have done is we have created mock test based on the actual CUCT pattern for the students. In fact, one paper we have created free of cost to the students. They can actually go on the website of Akash, that is akash.ac.in. We also have 2 courses for the students based on the tests, that is the test series course and the test and discussion series course. In the test series, the students will be given large number of part syllabus test and the full syllabus test based on the actual CUCT pattern. And in the test and discussion series, along with the tests, the students will be provided with live doubts based on those tests. That is the doubt clearing sessions with the expert faculties of Akash. So in and all around the tests of the CUCT, we have created a lot of offerings for the students. I sincerely advise them to visit our website and they'll see them for themselves.
Okay, students. So I think one great tip here coming from the expert is that do join the crash courses. So you mentioned the crash courses ki date is 11th of March. They're starting on 11th of March. How many tests will be conducted in the various courses jo offer kiye ja rahe hain?
So ma'am, in crash course, that is the study course we'll be teaching, there is a variety of tests. Before the board examination, we'll be providing the students with 9 mock tests based on the board pattern. After the board examination, we'll be providing them with 6 part syllabus tests and 7 full syllabus tests. In the test series and the test and discussion series, there'll be 28 tests each, which will be 14 part syllabus tests and 14 full syllabus tests. And each of these part syllabus and full syllabus tests will be based on the actual CUCT pattern. And after each test, a detailed analysis report will be given to the students, wherein the students can identify the weak areas in these various subjects that are part of this test. So that is about the test in the various courses.
Okay. And is there any admission process to enroll in Aakash BYJU'S CUCET Science UG preparation?
If the students wish to enroll in the courses of their choice for this UCT as offered by Akash, what they need to do is they need to go to the Akash website, that is aakash.ac.in. I repeat, aakash.ac.in. But I believe Akash does not in itself require any introduction, but still that is something for the students to note down. When they go to the website, they can register themselves there, then and there only, and we'll take it up from there.
Yes. So यहाँ पे, just in case if you have any sort of query, confusion, then do visit our website. Like Sir said, ki Aakash BYJU'S needs no introduction. So we are here to offer help, which is actually a very big thing now. और बहुत सारे लोग क्यूरियस भी हैं, they really want to find out exactly CUCET में कैसा रहेगा. I hope मैंने सारे questions यहाँ पे आप लोगों के लिए हों, and by chance अगर मैंने कोई भी question miss किया हो, तो what we have done with you, for you especially, कि हमने एक feedback form यहाँ पे share किया है, वो आपको डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स में डेफिनेटली मिल जाने वाला है. सो इफ यू हैव एनी सॉर्ट ऑफ कंसर्न जो हम मैं सर से नहीं पूछ पाई बट वो स्टिल अभी भी अनरिजॉल्व रह गया, तो यही 2 सजेशंस हैं. यू कैन ऑलवेज गो बैक टू द प्रीवियस वेबिनार्स. आई एम श्योर वहां पे आपकी क्वेरी रिजॉल्व हुई होगी. बट इफ यू थिंक कि वहां पे भी मुझे वो जवाब नहीं मिला, सो फील फ्री टू शेयर दोज क्वेश्चंस विद अस, क्योंकि हम डेफिनेटली उन सारे सवालों के जवाब आप तक पहुंचाने वाले हैं. कहाँ मिलेगा? लिंक आपको मिल जाएगा इन द डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स. सो प्लीज डू विजिट दैट लिंक एंड यू कैन ड्रॉप योर क्वेश्चंस देयर. तो सर, इट वाज लाइक ऑलवेज, इट वाज अ ग्रेट एंड एनलाइटनिंग वेबिनार फॉर मी, फॉर एवरी स्टूडेंट, आई एम श्योर. सो थैंक यू सो मच सर, Weber sir, for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Tanu ma'am, and thank you for all the viewers who asked us so many relevant questions for this CUCET.
Right.
And I wish them all the very success for this examination, and we look forward to more such webinars.
Absolutely, sir. I'm very excited for these webinars, and I'm very excited and thrilled to see the response we are getting for this webinar. So yes, a big thank you to all the students जो बहुत ज़्यादा time crucial निकालकर इस webinar को सुनते हैं, participate करते हैं. And we are hoping that you found this webinar informative and useful. In fact, as we all know, CBSE class 10th term 2 board examinations are starting, like sir also mentioned, 26th April 2022. So to help you enhance your preparation for boards, Akash live webinar brings to you Boost Your Prep webinar series for class 10th students. So this is going to be a great opportunity for everybody who's preparing for 10th exams. And if you need any more information on that, yeah, for the next webinar, you can always click on the links which are mentioned in the description box. तो आप जाइए उन links पे click कीजिए, या फिर अगर कोई भी concern or query है, you can always visit our website, which is www.aakash.ac.in. ये सारी चीजों की information आपको सिर्फ एक ही destination, एक ही platform पे मिल जाएंगी. So thank you so much, sir, and thank you to each one of the students. And yes, I shall see you again. Have a great evening, everyone.